So I'm going to start recording, and we might have some more girls like jump off and on is par for the course for these types of things. And Lou, I'll share the recording with you too, so you can share it with your team, and you'll have access to all the other ones too. So welcome, happy Monday to you guys. I'm so excited to be here. I love technology. Well, I love this. What is happening right now is just the accumulation of all the things I love about Stella&Dot. One, that I now get to have friends all over, not only the US, but the world. And also that technology can kind of bring us together. I think before we'd have to be like on a phone call, which just doesn't seem as much of fun because we can't see each other's fun lippy colors. And so I want to give Lou a chance to introduce herself and to tell us about who you are, where you're from, what you do, and all those things. And then we'll kind of jump into our topic.
Okay, cool. So hi everyone. Thank you so much to Callie for asking me to come on this Zoom call. I'm really excited to share some tips with you guys. So I am Louise Fox. I'm an associate director now with Stella&Dot. I've been a stylist for coming up for 5 years. So I joined at the very end of November 2013. So I literally had a style session, fell in love with everything, and decided that I had nothing to lose but to give it a go. I was super busy. I had my children, I've got 3 children, they were younger then, so they were 4, 5 and about 9. A day job in PR. I had my own beauty business. So literally when I told my husband that I was thinking about doing this, I think he nearly divorced me. He was like shaking his head. So I really did join for the jewelry. I am that girl that joined for the jewelry and never expected in a million years to be here now. So
I love it. So you, how large is your team and where is your team located?
So my team is all in the UK. We've got a lady about to join us actually from the US. I'm not quite sure what area yet, but it's about 100-ish. So it's stayed the same for a while because we've had a few leave and a few new people join. But I'd say it's around about 100-ish with probably about a third-ish active, kind of regularly. So.
And where do you live?
So I live in Bedfordshire, which is a county. So we're probably about sort of half an hour from London. So quite nice because we're out in the countryside in a little village, but when we want to, we can go head into the city for like the nightlife and everything. So it's the best of both worlds.
How large is your town?
It's a little village. So I'd say, well, it's a big village actually. So it's probably got about 4,000 to 5,000 people in it. So we're really lucky though. We live right on the edge of an amazing nature reserve. So we have really gorgeous walks with my little dog and there's wild ponies there. It's a really nice place to live.
I mean, you guys, do you want to be Lou Fox right now?
I'll move to Barton-le-Clay.
I mean, it's a little village where I feel like I need to speak in an accent. Okay. So, all right. So tell us, how soon after you joined Stella&Dot did you actually start to sponsor, and what made you want to sponsor? Tell us about that.
Okay. So I didn't even think about sponsoring when my upline and my upline's upline, which is Wendy Ann Jones, who you've probably heard of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when Wendy and Claire, my upline, said to me, you should bring along a friend, I was really adamant and said, no, I don't want to do that because I'm in it for the jewelry and I want to do it just for me and I'm super busy and I just don't want that responsibility. So I missed out early on a lot of the bonuses that are available and the fun because I just didn't even think about sponsoring until 6 months in. So when I did, it was kind of the start of, it was almost like a bit of a switch went on with me. And once I sponsored one, the fun kind of began and I just couldn't help them but start talking to other people about it. And then I realized that was actually kind of my favorite part about what I do. So I would say to anybody out there, it's never too late to start sponsoring because I didn't think about it immediately. And equally, there are ladies on my team that joined in the August sign-up special that are super busy. One of them is a solicitor who's 6 months pregnant and she sponsored a friend kind of 3 days in. So I always try and encourage my team and say, look, I missed out on these early on bonuses, but, equally, it isn't too late for anybody whenever you decide the time is right. But for me, it was 6 days in.
your eyes kind of light up when you talk about that you sponsored one and then you loved it. So what is it about sponsoring that you really love?
I love the fact that the best thing that can happen for me and for them, you know, is them launching their career rather than them buying an item from me, because I get so much fun and reward and friendships and financial reward and memories made with my families from doing this, that I just want to share that with somebody else. And then, you know, once I started getting my own team, I realized I was even more excited about seeing someone else do well that I was coaching than me doing well myself. It just kind of changes everything, really. It is literally kind of just bringing along a friend. It's like instant friendships and fun. So it's definitely the most rewarding part of what we do, I think.
Yeah. And maybe not as intimidating as you thought it was going to be?
Absolutely not. So I think the thing for me, when I was asked at the beginning, you know, why don't you bring along a friend? I probably just envisaged myself out there training somebody totally on my own, when actually that's not the case. So, you know, when anybody new comes on my team, and I know it'll be the same for you, Callie, they get so much support, both from head office and then from, you know, uplines and upline directors. You know, there's weekly training calls, there's all sorts of support that goes on. So I kind of didn't know about that and just thought, oh God, no, I can't possibly bring anybody along when I'm so new myself. I just don't want that stress. But actually, you know, there is no stress. It is, you kind of just learning things that you don't know, you learn together. So it doesn't need to be any intimidating, stressful situation at all.
Exactly. So you identify, you sponsored one, you identified, okay, I love this. This is really fun. Because I always say that too. It's so much more fun to bring along a friend. It just adds another layer of excitement and interest and fun to your business. But there is a level at which sponsoring is something that you have to work on. So it's not like people are just like beating down your door, begging all the time to join your Stella&Dot team. I mean, that would be amazing. That would be amazing if they are. But what would you say has been your, like the flip side of that, which would be what has been maybe a struggle or an obstacle that you've faced when sponsoring?
So the biggest obstacle with sponsoring has always been me, and it's about changing my own mindset. So I'm now doing nothing differently to anybody else that isn't sponsoring, apart from talking to more people. So that is the single one thing. You know, I now occasionally, well, a lot I have to remind myself of this, but I try not to screen anybody. So it really isn't for me to decide whether somebody is too busy. You know, if that were the case, we would probably never be sitting here ourselves doing this job. So
right.
It's not for me to decide someone doesn't really need the money, or, you know, perhaps they're not confident enough. It's for us to share the opportunity with everybody, and then they decide whether it's something that they want to do as well. So it is definitely hugely about a mindset shift ourselves. And I always now try to think of leading with the opportunity first, because that's absolutely the best thing for them, because I genuinely think everybody should do this. So that's the best thing for them and the best thing for me as well. So it's just kind of changing it and thinking of things in reverse.
Okay, so really it was kind of a switch that you made in your mind. And I love what you said, that I'm not really doing anything different than anybody else is doing, other than I'm talking to more people. So how many people would you say that you talk to on an average month? Like, what is your process? Like, who are these people you're talking to about being a stylist?
So first, always talk to the hostess. So that's planting seeds leading up to a style session, during setup, during a style session. And it would be, you know, I never directly ask people. It would be, you should definitely be doing what I do. It's just kind of putting it out there, not asking the question so that they can freeze and say no. It's just saying, you should do what I do, basically. My last two people that signed up in August, they were both August style sessions that I'd spoken to previously, and actually on the day said, you know what, this is absolutely crazy. You should just be having this as your launch tonight. And both of those ladies, we, at that last minute notice, switched that into their launch. So they've had a really nice, strong start, and they've both really kind of embraced it. You know, it's been amazing, actually. So definitely hostesses. And there's always time to go back to all those people that have previously hosted for you and say, do you know what, I'm so sorry that I haven't thought about this before, but you would actually, or that I haven't spoken to you about it before, but you would actually love what I do. And we've got an amazing time of year coming up now. I'd love to have a chat. I'll give you a call tomorrow. So go back to all those that you haven't spoken to already. Anybody, whether it's an event or whether a pop-up, I'm always trying to program my mind. And again, sometimes I do have to kind of have a little chat with myself and say, right, you're not thinking of things from a sponsoring perspective. So I always have to try and lead with the opportunity. So if anybody, you know, is loving everything, I should say, well, you should do this. We need stylists everywhere, because we do, don't we, anyway? So I just try and plant a seed. Everybody is a potential stylist. So I've had members of my family join. I've had good friends join. You know, some of them are still with my team and some of them aren't, but nobody's ever regretted joining. They've always had a fun time while they've done it, and, you know, gained financially, and obviously they've gained lots of product as well. So.
Okay, so I want to circle back to your idea where you're saying the last 2 girls in your team. So you had chatted with them, maybe mentioned the opportunity with them before because you were booking a trunk show with them. And then you show up that night and you are setting up your display. And you turn to her. And so, like, walk me through that situation.
So these 2, I kind of messaged her. I messaged them both earlier on in the day, just not a couple of hours before it was due to start, and said, look, you know, you should definitely be doing this. We've got this offer on at the moment, and obviously that still applies at the moment now in September, because we've got this enhanced package, haven't we, to offer everybody. So I just literally said, look, tonight we could make this your launch. You love the product, you've got friends coming, I will come and run it all for you as part of your training, so I'll still be there with my jewelry. Let me know what you think. And, you know, literally just by kind of, both of those ladies I'd already planted seeds and spoken to, but just by putting it out there, they were both, yeah, do you know what, actually, let's just do that. It has been on my mind a little bit. So you've just kind of got to seize the opportunity and say, you know, don't think I'm a little bit crazy, and I know it's only a few hours away, but let's just do this. Let's just make tonight your launch. Just kind of make it light and easy breezy for people.
Well, and so awesome, because when you're already there, you are doing the training anyways. So you can help her book trunk shows while you're there. So I know that there's going to be someone that's listening to this, maybe someone here that's listening right now, or the playback, that's going to go, but Lou, aren't you worried about all those customers being yours and you not getting those sales that month? And then, I mean, why would you want to just give a trunk show away?
So I've obviously had that fear so many times, but it is absolutely the best thing for my business to have her start strong, join my team, and like you said, at her launch, be able to connect and get her other style sessions while I'm there, because then I can go and do pop-ups and find other customers and you know, meet other new people. But while I'm doing that, she's then out doing style sessions as well on my team. So it's the easiest way for me to make more money and not be out more nights myself.
Oh my gosh, so good, you guys. And I feel like I would probably talk myself out of doing that, because it was like, I don't want to pressure her. I don't want this to feel like I'm rushing her or something. But I love the way that you're just like, this is silly. Like, you should be the one doing this. We can put all these orders under you tonight. And you know what you're not doing? You're not talking to her about, okay, well, we have new stylist training on this night, and then you're going to sign up into this, and this is your quick start bonus, and this is your, I mean, you're just like, this is fun. You should do this. Do you feel like sometimes we complicate sponsoring?
Absolutely. So one of my biggest tips is to never use any of our jargon. If I'm talking to ladies about the opportunity, I always just say, there's so much free product credit. I never mention the words jumpstart or quick start or 60 days. I just say there's lots of cash and so much free product on the table. And then we worry about the rest, because otherwise I'm just going to create barriers and overwhelm them. And I just don't want to do that at that stage. So I try and just deal with each stage as it happens. And the most important thing at that stage is to kind of get them to believe and buy in. And then we can break it down into jumpstart and quick start after they've joined them.
And pretty much no other way to guarantee that they're going to have so much fun as a stylist when you are there, their friends are already there. and they're seeing how much they love the product, they've immediately made commission. I mean, you can leave that night and show them how much commission they've made.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're so right. Like, it's always, I mean, there are endless amounts of customers out there. It's more difficult to find a stylist. So why not really zero in on your hostesses? Okay, so aside from your hostesses, who else have you found that you have sponsored? What other types of people?
Again, anybody that really loves it. And, again, you need to overcome the fear of, recruiting one of your biggest customers, because they're much more valuable to you as a stylist on your team than they are a customer. You can go find other customers. Anybody at a pop-up or a fair or an event that I speak to that really, really loves it, I'll lead with the opportunity first as well. So everybody out there is your potential stylist.
Yeah, I love it. And so, okay, how do you consistently, because you're a pretty consistent sponsor. And so Lou is a fellow Maven. She's still rocking the Maven program. And so how are you consistently, like, are there any systems or processes that you have in place? Like, how are you consistently doing this?
So I constantly have an ongoing list of everybody that I've spoken to about the opportunity. I have kind of like a really hot or warm list on my phone so that I can check in on it at any time. And the key to this is, so every time that a new offer comes up, I can go back to these ladies and say, hi there, we spoke in May, but the time wasn't right for you then, because I'll always leave it that I can go back to people by, closing things and saying, if they say the time isn't right, then I'll say, not a problem. I think you'd be great. Do you mind if I keep you on my list and let you know when an offer does come up? And they always say yes. So people think then that I'm offering a really good professional service because I'm remembering them, and they're flattered by that. No one's ever crossed with me that I've gone back to them. And some of these ladies have been on my list for 4.5 years. It doesn't take long just to go back through my list and say, just to let you know, this is the new business in the box that we've got right now. Now is an amazing time to join, because obviously we've got our most, amazing months of the year coming up, our most lucrative time. So I'll always go back to everybody on my list and keep a track of that. But the key is as well that we need to keep that list fresh. So we need new people coming in on that list all the time. We can't just kind of concentrate on 5 people and just go over and over and over, hoping that one of them will flip. It's about trying to make sure that I do a couple of pop-ups every month. I've joined a local networking group, so that a women's networking group, because they're really amazing at making referrals, and I ask lots of people for referrals as well. That's something I'm really keen on doing, and I reward referrals with a sparkly prize from me. If somebody sends somebody my way, then I'll send them a piece of jewelry to say thank you. So it's about tracking everything, remembering people and going back, and also making sure that you're keeping lots of new, fresh people coming in on your, your dream team list as well.
So it's always interesting to me to find out how people track things. So what is your system for keeping track? Are you like pen and paper? Are you a computer girl? Like, what's your system?
So I have it in my phone, just because then wherever I am, it's just on like my notes. But
Okay.
There's a list like really warm, and then like some older people. So that have been on the list for a long while. But sometimes, somebody has really shocked me, and after 4.5 years or 4 years of speaking to them, they've then said, yep, do you know what, the time's right now? But I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket and just concentrating on those people. I'm trying to constantly look at new people as well. So.
And how many trunk shows on average do you have a month? And the reason I'm asking is I'm wanting to know, like, how many new people are you meeting a month?
So I probably do, on average, about 4 to 5 a month. And then obviously I'm definitely trying to get out there with the pop-ups as well. So they're all new people, and the networking. So, and with the style session, it's like all of the kind of tips that we get. I'm always talking to the hostess, because she's somebody that already loves the brand, and she is somebody that's already social because she's happy to have people over. But I'm also looking for the people in the room that are styling their friend and saying, hey, you're doing my job, you should be getting paid for this, and just kind of planting seeds like that. So some good style sessions, I've had 3 people from different groups of friends join up, and we've just started together and done new stylist training together. So it's just been really fun. And then, other times it will take a little while and I'll go a few style sessions without getting a lead. But you just know, you just got to keep your eyes open and listen out. It isn't always about the people that are buying either. You know, the people that are in the corner might love it but might not be able to afford to buy it. So it's about connecting with everybody and just getting those people on my VIP group and keeping connections going as well.
So kind of what I hear you saying is that there's basically never a time when sponsoring is not on your radar, something that you are thinking about, be it you are talking to someone in the grocery store, or you are at a style session, but you're extremely intentional. So have you seen a difference in your business since then?
Yeah, absolutely. So I decided, the first hoopla that I went to, because I was still very much a part-timer, I sat there and was just in awe of everybody going on the stage. And I was sponsoring a bit at that point, and I made a decision in my mind that I was going to be on that stage next year. So, you know, when a little thing goes on, and I'm not the most outgoing person. I'm fine in my own small group, but I was pretty shy in front of big crowds as well. So but I just made a conscious decision, and that's what you have to do. You know, you need to make a goal that you're actually going to make things happen, and that you're going to increase your team by a certain amount by Christmas. I've got an amazing new girl on my team who has said that she's going to have 10 people on her team by Christmas. She joined in May. So, you know, you've just got to make yourself a goal. And when you break it down, you know, it's probably sponsoring a couple of people a month. It's so achievable. It's just literally switching that switch on. So the following year, I was third in Europe in new qualified stylist. That was 2016. Then in 2017, I was third in new qualified stylist in the EU. And then this year, I was number 2 in the EU for new qualified stylist. So once you get the systems in place and you're passionate about it and you know, you're loving it, then it just kind of flows.
Oh my gosh. Number 2 in the entire country. Like, that's insane. You're amazing, Lou. I love your tips. I think what sticks out the most to me is just your casual confidence that you seem to just approach people with. And that, I think the other thing is that you genuinely can tell just talking to you, and we're not even live in person, but basically through a computer screen, that you authentically, like in your heart, you love this business and you love this opportunity. And so that comes across to the people that you're talking to. So I love that. Does anyone have any questions for Lou? Or Lou, do you have anything else to offer before? Were there any tips that you wrote down that I did not get to?
I was just going to say in summary, don't screen, and to lead with the opportunity, and to always expect an objection. So very rarely does anyone say, oh yeah, you're right, I will do this. They're going to come back with an objection, and it's about being prepared to handle those objections. And people want you to help them overcome them. When they say, oh no, you know, I don't know enough people, they don't want you to say, yeah, you're right, you don't know enough people. They want you to say, look at how you feel. I felt the same, but actually what I found is when I sat down and looked at my different groups of connections, I knew more people than I thought. If I could help you to do that, you know, would that help? So it's about helping people overcome that, and just track everything and keep your list fresh. And what I have done, if you're okay with me just turning the screen around for 1 minute.
Yes.
I don't know how to turn it around now. Just bear with me. Oh no. Sorry, have I lost you?
No, we're here.
You still see me? It's because loads of things are popping up on my screen and I'm trying to turn you around and I can't find it. If I turn this round, tell me if you can see this. Can you see that?
Yeah, point it down a little bit, but yes.
Can you see that?
Oh yeah, down a little bit more. Okay, yeah, we can see it.
So these are my earnings in my first year. So I joined at the end of November 2013. And I was obviously doing this very part-time, and the comp plan and the bonuses were nowhere near as good as they are now. And I just wanted to show you the point at which I sponsored my first 2 people. And if you could see, apart from August, when I always take most of the months off, if you can just see what happened to my earnings.
Point your camera down a little bit more. There you go. That? Holy shamoly. Now we can see it. So, like, that's insane. I'm not good with math, but I'm thinking that's well over what percentage? I mean, 400% more earnings that you're making.
Yeah, that's the point at where we're sponsored, and I thought that's quite a powerful message. I show that to my team all the time to say, look, if you want to earn more money but not be out more often, or not be out more evenings, or however you work your business, then this is the way to do it.
And that kind of speaks for itself, right?
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, does anyone have any questions for Lou? Anyone? Okay. Well, what I'm going to do is what has kind of been happening on our team page is that I'll post the playback, and then people might like tag you as they watch it back and ask you some questions, maybe like share your words to say, like, hey, what do you say when, someone that you met at a trunk show, or it's not the hostess, and so things like that. So I will post that. It takes me some time to get the recording back up again, but thank you so much. I have loved getting to connect with you and to pick your brain a little bit about how awesome and amazing you are, and we just appreciate your time.
Oh, thank you. It's been really fun. Thanks very much, Callie.
Okay, bye, y'all.
Take care. Bye.